I am Karen Gillen, leadership coach for entrepreneurs who want to lead better faster while not leaving a wake of collateral trauma behind them. So, this week, we're going to talk about asking better questions, similarly to what we talked about last week about things that are taking us out at the knees, like my terrible question of where can I fit it in. This week, I want to talk more proactively about how do I actually ask good questions. And I think the first thing you need to know is that every result that you have came from a thought you had first. Every emotion you have came from a thought you had first. And emotions are the fuel for your life. So, really, our thinking fuels everything. And if we're being reactionary to our emotions, that's probably not working. And if we're using questions to get where we want to go, we want to make sure that those questions are making our brains come up with thoughts that are giving us emotions that fuel the life that we want to have, that give us the result that we want to have. So, these are just thoughts that I have that I really like are I always come out on top. An action that I take is I never schedule anything extra on Mondays. Those are days for me to work on myself and on my business. Another one you could set up is, I never schedule anything for myself. You can go through my assistant. Another thing, a thought I have is that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm always going to do it. They're kind of like, they sound like rules, right? So if there's a way where instead of asking a question that sets your brain up to kind of take you out, if you can set up some structures that support you to always get the result you want. So when I think, I always say, or I always do what I say I'm going to do, that means I always have to check in. If I tell you I'm going to do this, it's really going to happen. So I have to be pretty clear that I want to do it, that that's a result that I want to create, that it's not taking away from the rest of my life. So I want you to consider that killer question that I had last week, which was, where can I fit that in? That question, any question you pose to your brain, makes your brain find an answer. And so asking the question, where can I fit it in, would always leave my brain poking things everywhere in my schedule and messing up my life. So the question that I have now is, what kind of event or activity is that, and where does that go in my calendar? Because I actually have places. I have some rules about how my calendar is used, whether I'm in there or my assistant's in there. So what if you could ask better questions and get better action, better emotion, and better result? What would be a question that could open you up? I just got off the call with a client, and she had been asking herself the question, like, why aren't other people fill in the blank? So if you're asking yourself, why aren't other people doing what I think they should be doing? Why aren't people doing it my way? Why aren't people doing it right? You're going to get all the reasons why they aren't, right? Your brain is going to find all that negative evidence for you. But what about the question of, how is this in service of my mission? How is this in service of this quarter's goal? How is this directly affecting the result I'm creating this year? So you can get really close to what it is you want to do by asking yourself really good questions, so that no matter what you're doing, your action, your brain is going to be finding better things for you. Basically, it's just like helping your brain get from a really unhelpful place to a really helpful place without having to do much effort. And then your brain just goes to town. It's gonna do the work anyway. You might as well put it on a task that works for you. So that's pretty much it for today. I want you to check in with yourself. Does the question I'm continually asking serve my number one goal? Could somebody else take that question or take that task and do it? And could I get it out of my life and the results still happen? So it's, can I delegate this? Can I delete this? Do I even have to do this to get where I'm going? It can also be really helpful to check in on your values. What value am I honoring by doing this task right now, or by putting it off, or by not doing it? I also like to know would you pay someone $1,000 to do it? So if it's not so important that you wouldn't pay someone $1,000 to do it, maybe it doesn't need to get done. So how much do you value that outcome? So go ahead, get on out there, ask yourself better questions, and the better answers you come up with, the better your life is. So this is really important work that you will see a direct result of in not very much time. So have fun asking questions. And as usual, if you like this video, like it. If you love it, share it out. And in the top up there is, in the description, is a link to my freebie for you, a free training on leadership. I hope you'll grab that and join us on the newsletter list, where you'll get messages like this every week. All right, have a great rest of your week. Thanks for being here.